Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to another episode of Superpower Review. As always, we are your hosts, Kevin and Ryan Videnia. We're the freaking awesome brothers, okay? To the equivalents of brothers, I'd say we're more like Raphael and Leonardo of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Definitely quite opposite, but still really dope.
That's right. We got another great show for you today. We're going to be unboxing some really awesome things, and then we're going to give you some news and reviews on some really cool things that me and Ryan came about on some stuff.
Yeah, first ever unboxing on the show. I'm super excited about this because not many people know how long I've been wanting to do not only an unboxing, but what we're gonna unbox came in the mail the day after our last episode.
Yes.
So I've been holding on to this for an entire week. So
Bust it out, Ryan. Get it out there. Watch out.
This monstrosity. Hold your waters, kids. This right here is the BenQ Zoe RL 24-inch, 60 frames per second esports console monitor. Okay, so this is strictly for consoles. Excuse me.
This is like an earthquake, a
little more
tablequake
table
over here. Jeez. Bust that thing open, bro.
My handy dandy
knife. Your faka.
Yeah! All right, the seal has been broken, which I saved for you guys. Not everyone waits to break the seal, you know?
Smells new.
Smells new, smells authentic, like a rich video game unboxing. Oh my goodness. Just let it fall, bam. Beautiful. Wow. Okay, so plentiful amounts of foam to keep everything safe. Here it is right here, baby. This is the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. Take that off there. Now, this is my first ever video game monitor. And for those of you who don't know, first question is, right, look at that guy. Bam, ooh, nice black, sleek. There's the stand in the back.
Do you still need the box?
Let's see what else is in here that we can get rid of. There's the regular stand and probably my box of cables. Get that out of here. Awesome. So now that we got room to show this bad Larry, there we are, right there. This is the BenQ Zowie RL 2760. Okay, so everyone's first question usually is, why a gaming monitor? What's the point? I got a beautiful television at home. Why would I want to spend an extra, BenQ was nice enough to send this to us for this review after I was nice enough to send them 220 American dollars for this monitor. So, the way they did the picture on this is really awesome. We got some stills to show you in a second. First thing is flicker free. Okay, you ever see video of video games on TVs or whatever?
Flicker wicka what?
Flicker free, son.
Flicker free?
Like sucker free. Bam, there it is. So the way the monitor actually refreshes its video, there's no, it doesn't stagger all the way down. It's like one consistent image, okay? The next shot, if you want to show, is the black equalizer. Look at how much more of the video game you'll actually be able to see, because instead of everything being like dark, because your television at home is usually made for your TV shows, your movies. There might be a game setting on your TV.
It looks like it adds more contrast to it.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're trying to shoot something like that, wouldn't you rather be able to see it like that rather than a solid black image, you know? Another thing about this monitor is that it is 1 millisecond of lag, okay? So let me explain this to you. We all know how electricity works, and it seems instantaneous while it's happening. But when you're sending a message from your controller to the PlayStation or to your console and then to the television itself, there's milliseconds of lag you're talking about. And then the time it takes for your television to process that image and show it to you, you actually haven't seen everything. There's screenshots on their website, if you take a look, where it shows images in motion and how it totally cuts out that blur. Remember we were looking at stills and we saw that blur? Yeah. It's eliminating that, so now you're able to see the true frame. So imagine, let's say, a scenario real quick. I'm going to put this here for now. Imagine a scenario real quick where you're playing your favorite game and someone is about to jump in on you, which can start with some mega damage, okay? Being able to see where they are properly on the screen as it's being displayed on the game, as opposed to them already hitting you and you going, well, I thought I should have hit them already, you know?
Right.
It's one of those things where, if you can improve your eyeballs, if you could spend $200 and improve your eyeballs to help you play video games better, if you want to take things seriously, that's the first burp, then you would want to pick this monitor up because it's literally just going to do that. It's going to improve your video game experience. You'll be able to see what you're doing so much better, clear picture. I mean, just the black alone was awesome. Here's the stand for it. I'm going to have a setup video probably. Maybe we'll show in the next video. This is all the cables and stuff. I decided to go with the 24-inch because the 27-inch, let's face it, was over $300. That was only $220. It really didn't hurt the pocket that bad to shell out for the monitor. And I'm building myself a tiny little video game section in the house so that, you know, my wife can still watch television or we can still have things going on. And when I want to sit down and take my gaming seriously, like playing online or learning new moves, I don't want to have the lag of a television. You know, even if you're 1 millisecond on this. So can you imagine what the lag would be on a regular television? I've seen gaming monitors sold with up to like 11 milliseconds of lag. If you're at 60 frames a second on your TV and you're talking about all those seconds of lag, like those things make time for, you know, competitive style games.
So the Edge is pretty much better picture quality, faster connection and reaction time.
Yeah, faster refresh rate. Yeah, it's going to go a long way. So super happy to do the unboxing with you guys today on the show. And give me like a week or two and I'll be able to have a full-on review on this product to let you know, is it worth the money? You know, is this something that you should be investing if you're looking to take some type of competitive edge to your gaming?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
thought that would be a super cool thing to show.
I like this first unboxing episode.
Not bad. It went well. It didn't take too long. Everything's kind of everywhere. Kevin, I think, has something he would like to unbox for you. I want to preface this unboxing with it being completely ridiculous. Okay? Completely ridiculous. Go ahead,
Well,
Kevin.
here's my introduction to this unboxing. On Instagram,
Open it while you explain.
Yeah, I already kind of to give myself some ahead of time.
Oh, you broke the seal?
I broke the seal, but I haven't looked at it yet, okay?
Unfortunate.
I got this on Saturday, okay, and I've been waiting since then, okay? So on Instagram, I follow a lot of, you know, martial artists and comic book readers.
What is in that?
What is in it, Ryan? Well, there's this guy going on. He goes by the name of the Frightful Four, and pretty much what he...
Put that on the screen when you do the thing. Show it so people can check it out.
He hosts a lot of comic book raffles, and what he does is he goes around the country and he goes to these, you know, Comic Cons, expos, and he picks up people's signatures. So my guy, the Frightful Four, had a raffle going on, and
it was for this comic right here.
For
Let's
this
see
comic.
it, folks.
And I got this comic right there.
Oh my goodness.
Spider-Man #1 Silver Edition, signed by your boy Stan the Man Lee and the Todd father, Todd McFarlane. I'm so super excited. This is the first time I get to look at it, and it looks beautiful on camera. Beautiful.
It looks like it's in great shape. Show them the certificate of authenticity
this
on the
is
back.
the certificate of authenticity on the back, again with some Stan Lee. Now, I don't know why it's not graded. I'm not.
That'll be something you'll have to do on your own.
Well, I can't get it graded now because someone from CGC has to be there to see it.
But sometimes the certificate is what means things for people.
No, it says it right on the website. Even though with the certificate of authenticity, they will not grade it for you. But I'm not mad about it.
Just keep it. It's for you.
Yeah, it's strictly for me. This comic is in near mint condition, okay? It is perfect. So again, I got this in a raffle, okay? It was $10 a spot.
How many spots were there?
There were 18 spots.
So that would be the seller making roughly about 180 bucks on that, right?
180 bucks.
How much is that comic if you were to buy it, you know, as is, let's say, without it being a raffle?
200 bucks. Yeah, about 200 bucks. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So for $10, you bought one raffle card?
I bought one raffle card. My wife picked it. Thank you to my wife.
The number, right? Because it goes by the number.
Number 3. She picked ticket number 3. I go, honey, which one do you think is going to be the ticket winner? And she goes, oh, just go for 3. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And literally the next day I got a message saying, Karate Kevin 67, congratulations, you won. And I was like, is this real life? I didn't think it was real for a second, like for a real while. But I ended
Color
up winning
me
it.
green over here with jealousy, because in case some of you don't know, when we did the Rhode Island Comic Con 2016 and all the reviews that are up on the Facebook, I purchased the Stan Lee ticket, waited in that ridiculous line to have him sign it and meet him for just a brief 5 seconds and all that other junk. And I'm still waiting on that comic to come in, because while I was there having him sign it, the guys at CGC were like, hey, pay this money right now and we're going to another stop and we'll have it signed by Todd McFarlane. And then we'll have it graded for you.
Well, the difference is you're getting graded. I got it right away. I just want to thank the Frightful Four for holding this raffle.
That is incredible.
This is my first Todd McFarlane signature signed comic. Todd McFarlane's my top favorite artist. For the people who know me or the people who follow me on Instagram, they know how much I love Todd McFarlane. This is my second Stan Lee signed comic, and I got it at the right price for only $10. Super stoked, super happy. Couldn't be any happier with it. If you can look, the edges are super, super clean. We have no creases on the spine. The comic's in near mint condition.
And you're probably not even going to take it out of that packaging.
I'm never going to take it out of that package. I'm actually probably going to buy one of those cases that you bought for your Deadpool comic.
Yeah, the one that Deadpool's
put it in
there. There you go.
But yeah, I am super in love with this comic. And again, shout out to the wifey for picking spot number 3.
Unbelievable.
So happy.
Lady
so
Luck,
happy.
number 3.
I thought for a second, I was really worried. The person sent it out to me, and I didn't think I was going to get it because... ended up stopping at the person's from California, ended up stopping at a USPS station, okay, that had 227 one-star reviews, okay. I got the next day that it was shipped out and it arrived to this US postal station, and my package was on transit for 4 days. And I was getting really worried, and I looked up this postal service, okay, and got really worried. They had bad reviews. I tried calling them. Bad reviews. They had reviews for stealing packages.
Jeez, and you still went with it?
Well, no. It was already being shipped out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I waited, and I was so upset. I was like, sure enough, I won this awesome comic, and I'm probably not even going to get it because people commented saying like I never got my package, I went lost. So I was really bummed out, but luckily it came through.
Let's show off the 2 things we unboxed today.
Yay!
On screen together. Right? Again,
Unboxing.
for all those who need to know, BenQ RL 2460 and
Spider-Man #1 Silver Edition, Stand By Your Boy, Stan the Man Lee, and Todd McFarlane. My favorite Spider-Man artist, hands down. But with that, we have a little more news. Enough with fun with opening gifts. We'll be enjoying these things later. I got some comic book recommendations here for you. Recently, Civil War #2 just recently ended. Good story.
Not the right still.
Not the right still, but that's okay. We'll get to there. Great comic book series, Civil War #2. So this pretty much is... just ended. The comic book series was good. I like the story. Captain Marvel and Iron Man are in constant battle when a new Inhuman comes to light named Ulysses, and he can predict the future. So as the story starts to unravel, you start to pick sides because Captain Marvel wants to prepare for the future for anything that's bad to come. And she gets a little far-fetched and ridiculous and starts, arresting people for crimes that they haven't even committed yet.
Cool cover, very dark.
So then you can see, Iron Man comes in and says, you really need to stop this. You're getting a little ridiculous, and starts fighting. He believes that you should not tamper with the future and just take care of things as they come. So these are this was a good story. Again, I kind of liked it. As the story starts to unravel, you start to, you start to pick whose side you would go for.
What was your side?
I stuck with Iron Man, actually, because she was getting to the point where she was, doing more harm. But when it came out to I don't want to give out too much, actually. I don't want to give it away. This is a good story. You should pick it up. It is a 8 comic book series. The art is whatever, it's okay. The covers are just okay, but great story.
The art, I saw the artwork for some of them, and they're not traditional style comic book artwork. A little more painterly, watercolor looking, and lighter. But I mean, it still looks really, really nice.
Great story. I would pick it up. I would give it a 3.5 stars out of 4. I really like. I really like the story. It wasn't bad. It didn't. There were a couple of comics in there. It started off really fast, and then as long comic book series, they start to flatline a little bit,
Stories
but then
in general.
they start building back up. But again, I really liked it.
Does it leave you wanting more? Are you interested in picking up more of those, or?
There was almost. That's why I give it a 3.5, because there was a point where I did almost give up on it, but I'm glad I didn't. It's just. As it starts to unravel, a good part of the story too was a lot of our beloved superheroes in this comic book series die for what they believe in, and I think that's a very powerful message, actually. Next comic book series that I totally recommend is The Amazing Spider-Man Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy. Really like this story so far. This hasn't finished yet. We're on issue number 3. This is your first issue. For anybody who loves the Clone Saga from 1992 to 1996, with Scarlet Spider and Ben Reilly, this is definitely a story you want to pick up. Very good story. We have the Jackal in here. I like the Jackal's new costume in here. He's not just some green monster. It's a little more realistic.
Nice.
Love these covers, by the way.
Yeah, they look like movie covers or something.
Yeah, very epic. These covers are done by Gabriel Del Otto. Very cool. Love this one too.
That's awesome.
And I really love the story. I love what Dan Slott is doing right now with the story. To me, if you're a huge comic book fan and if you know your stuff, I really would put Dan Slott up to David Michelini when it comes to writing these amazing Spider-Man stories. This is the latest one that just recently came out. Really good. Again, really good. This one, Ryan, it was so good, I had to read twice.
Nice.
Yeah, it was so good.
Just to get all the information
Just to get the information.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to give out too much for people who are reading it right now or, want to pick it up. But if you're a huge Ben Reilly, yes, I said Ben Reilly, the original Scarlet Spider-Man, you have to pick up this comic. It's just really good.
Awesome.
Last piece of comic book news I just want to say real quick is if anyone is into DC Rebirth, Batman and the Flash are going to be teaming up in April. And if you remember, I have the still on it. If you remember that famous still of Batman finding the comedian's button in his Batcave, it's actually the other one, but that's okay.
But that's at least showing 2 of them, yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys remember this panel, or if anyone has questions like me and my brother on why Rebirth even started, well, we're getting backstory a year ahead. So Batman and the Flash are teaming up to investigate the comic, quote, The Button. And we're going to get some backstory on why DC Rebirth and what the Watchmen have and ties together of the DC Rebirth universe. So that's what I have for comic book recommendations. Pick up, Civil War 2. I thought it was really good, and let me know what you thought about it.
Yeah, leave a comment or send us a message. Let us know what you thought.
Totally. Again, Amazing Spider-Man, Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy. I really like it. Gabriel Del Otto is killing it with those covers, and he's killing it on other covers too. If you want to pick up like Venom, he's doing great variant covers on that. Dan Slott, I think, is doing a great job with writing it. So again, Ryan, this is a thing that another one of those topics that I'm really enjoying something and you're hearing bad feedback about. A lot of people liked Deadpool Back in Black.
Ugh.
We did not.
No.
A lot of people are so sick of Dan Slott writing Amazing Spider-Man, and I think he's doing one heck of a job.
If it works, I mean, go with it.
I think he's doing a really good job.
The biggest thing, I know comic books are, only $3 if you get a regular cover or whatever, but the investment and the excitement of reading a good comic and then to go home and be disappointed, or when a series seems like it's going to start so good and then it just falls flat on its face, it's just miserable.
Again, if you're a huge, if you were into the Clone Saga back in the early 90s, mid 90s, this is the comic book story to be picking up right now and reading it, especially if you're a huge Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly fan.
Well, now, what about Rebirth there? Have you been keeping up with the Rebirth comics at all?
Okay, so good question, Ryan. I've stopped picking up DC Rebirth stuff.
Me too.
Getting a little stale on that.
Wicked stale. They kind of went nowhere and started off really exciting and
yeah. And now, like I said, a year later, now we're getting backstory and why Rebirth happened. I don't know.
It sold really well, It's just
it did.
It just didn't have. When it all started, I was really excited, and I was buying the Universe Rebirth books, some of my favorite characters Rebirth books, and even characters that I wasn't a fan of, just to try and see where they were taking the story, to see if I could get into it, how they were doing it now. It just became too much. You're picking up sometimes 12 comic books a week, and you're not reading them all on time. I fell off of it. I had to.
This was the #1 selling comic book of 2016. It sold a lot of copies. I don't want to give a quote on how many copies it sold. I don't know the exact number, but DC is way over and beyond Marvel when it's coming to comic book sales right now.
I actually purchased a variant cover of that too. That I'm sorry, not just a variant cover, but on the inside it shows all of the artwork preparation that they did to make these stories. It was like a behind the scenes style comic.
These were the stories that I picked up after DC Rebirth. I mean, you can't pick up all these stories. It just gets too expensive.
I went back and forth to Marvel too, but then again, like some of these stories, I really just, it's kind of like, it's the opposite of TV, okay? TV, you don't mind an episode where things kind of go stale because they still keep exciting. When a comic book gets stale, it is just boring, drawn out, no fun.
So remember, Batman and the Flash are coming together. The two best DC investigators or detectives are coming together in April. Those comics will be hitting your local comic book shop and on April 19th. So again, those are called The Button. They will be in issues number 21 and 22 of Batman and the Flash.
Where do you get your comics, real quick, so give a shout out?
I can't do that because that's business.
Oh, my fault. Okay, never mind.
I would like to, but I can say a little hint. There's a nice little comic book store in Seekonk that I like to go to. I can at least say that.
Okay. In other news, for some of you who maybe saw some of the Nintendo Switch stuff this weekend, very exciting. Actually, the Nintendo Switch didn't seem exciting at all a few months ago when it came out. I was kind of like, another Nintendo system, they're going to do their thing, yada, yada. But what happened over this past weekend, me being FGC Ryan V, got wicked into it. So there's a whole new Street Fighter coming, and it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. So, at first, when you see some of the stills of this, there it is right there. Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challenge.
Get his stills right?
Yeah, my boy Cody in the back. It's because you were talking crap about that car in the front.
I don't know what that car is.
So, Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers. So, when you start to see some of the gameplay, like on the next slide, one of the first things you're going to notice is, hey, does this actually look just like Super Street Fighter 2 HD Remix that came out 10 years ago?
That was cool.
Well, you're not too far off. There we see Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. Those are the two new characters that are going to be in this game. Now, Evil Ryu's been out before in other games, but Violent Ken has only been in like one other obscure Street Fighter title. I think it was Street Fighter Chaos or something. So Evil Ryu, is him basically going to the dark side of his powers. He realizes how powerful he is, and he uses them for bad. Violent Ken, you would think, he's purple, he must be the same thing, right? Actually, it's not. Violent Ken's story is that he was kidnapped by M. Bison, and M. Bison uses what's called Psycho Power. That's how he has his special moves. So he actually gives Ken the Psycho Power. So you get to see how the two kind of will clash now with, the Seiatsu no
dark
Hado
forces
and Psycho Power. So that should be really cool. Also coming to the game is a total rebalance of special moves. Okay, so 10 years ago when we got the HD Remix Street Fighter, what they're doing now is they're balancing some of the moves, balancing the normals, giving people like new supers and stuff. And there's also a classic arcade mode Not just regular arcade mode like Street Fighter V didn't have. When I saw that I had arcade
Womp womp.
mode, I literally did this. I was like two head slaps because I was like, oh my god, this game that's coming out now actually has arcade mode.
Well, Capcom, congratulations
yes.
for doing that. Yeah.
Some of the other modes that they're doing, there's a new 2-player mode still that we have, where it's basically, you know, me and him want to mess up E-Bison together. Why not? We cannot even tag team mode them, but just both be on the screen beating them up. So that's also coming with a new rebalance. We also got to see what kind of looked like a first-person view. Imagine like you know, a GoPro on Ryu's chest, and him throwing Hadokens at
really?
At M. Bison's minions. Okay, so it's a first-person shot. So what we're thinking it is, what we're thinking it is that, you know, back in the day when we were kids and you'd have like beat up the car mode and kick the barrel mode, we think it's going to be like a new little mini game where you actually shoot fireballs at your foes and stuff like that. So there's no set date yet for HD Remix. The Nintendo Switch is coming out, I want to say March. Now, the first bit that comes when people see fighting games and then they see those tiny little Nintendo Switch controllers is, how the hell am I going to play this game on that? There's a company called Hori who makes fight sticks.
I'm sorry, what?
Hori, and they are, you know, Japanese-made fight sticks and arcades. And they are going to be making a Nintendo Switch-specific fight stick. Try saying that again, for the Nintendo Switch. So people who are comfortable with that will be able to pick up this game and new console and feel right at home and start nailing some moves. So I heard they've made special moves easier. They've improved the graphics and stuff. So it's not just like a re-release of a 10-year-old game. There's new things being put into this.
It's always good to go back to the classics. You know what I mean? You can always have newer things and you know, newer games, newer comics. So be it. Even newer cars, but
new fight mechanics and things like that.
You can't beat the classics. It's always nice to go back to the classics. It just feels good. Just like, you know, when you're playing a Mortal Kombat and they have the variant suits and you know,
it looks like the old one, or
go to
Mortal
the classics,
Kombat 3,
you know
of course.
I mean? It's just good. But
one more thing, actually, I wanted to mention about the
mention it, Ryan.
The Switch. Now that all that's happened, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Womp womp.
Next on the topic, though, is the real quick. Also, they released this weekend on Nintendo Switch was the new Mario Odyssey, which I personally haven't cared for a Mario game in, you know, God knows how long. But this game looks awesome. His hat is actually now like an extra character, and he can throw that in the middle of big jumps to be able to like bounce off of it and complete the jump.
Like a Kung Lao kind of thing.
Yeah, the graphics look super cool, and the opening scene is him like coming out of the manhole cover, and he's in the city, and then it shows him in all different environments, not just stuff that looks like the Koopa world or whatever. So Nintendo Switch, I wasn't interested, but I kind of am now. So we'll see what goes on with that.
Let's see what goes on with that. We're running out of time. That's the end of our show. Please be sure to check out on our YouTube channel, like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your friends. That's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching, and that is it. Thank you. High five.